Okay, I'm going over the measuring and constructing segments document from today in class. This is due tomorrow, 4/28. All right, so the first one says use a diagram below to answer questions 1 and 2. Remember that the whole thing is segment LN, and then the parts are segments LM and segments MN. So we've got to add this piece. This is part 1, and this is part 2 to get the whole thing. So here it says if LM is 22 and MN is 15, find LN. So on my separate paper, I'm going to sketch the segment. LMN. This piece is 22 and this piece is 15, and I want the whole thing. LN is the whole, LM is the part, and MN is the other part. So I've got to do part plus part equals whole. So I'm doing 22 plus 15, and then that would equal 37. And that's my final answer. Number 2 says, if LN is 54, so that's my whole, and a part is 31, then I've got to subtract the 2 to find the other part. So it's LN minus LM equals MN. So if this is 54 minus 31, that equals my X value because I'm not sure. And if we were to have a visual, it would look like this. MN is X, and this is 31, and then this whole thing is 54. X equals 23. Number 3. It says RT equals 36. Find the value of X. So that means this whole thing equals 36. So I'm going to add these together. This piece plus this piece. 6x plus 1 plus x plus 7 equals 36. So then we translate that or transfer this to 6x plus 1 plus x plus 7 equals 36. And then we need to combine like terms like our note said. So 6x plus x is 7x. And then 1 plus 7 is positive 8. And all of that equals 36. Then we subtract 8 from both sides. Then it becomes 7x equals 36 minus 8, which is 28. Then divide by 7, x equals 4. Here it says to find x, and I did. Number 4. It says DF equals 9x minus 39. So that's the whole thing. This whole thing, equals 9x minus 39. So I've got to add these two pieces here to get 9x minus 39. And let's transfer that to the paper so we can show our work. Equals 47. This is a part, plus 3x plus 10. This is another part. And this is my whole thing. So 47 plus 10 is 57 plus 3x, and then 9x minus 39. And then I would add 39 to both sides. 9x equals 57 plus 39, 96 plus 3x. And then I would subtract 3x from both sides. 6x equals, open that door please, 96. Then divide both sides by 6, and x equals 96 divided by 6 is 16. But that's just my x value. I still need to plug it in to find EF. So if x equals 16 and EF equals 3x plus 10, now that I know that the value of x is 16, I'm going to say 3 times 16 plus 10. 3 times 16 is 48, and plus 10 is 58. So this is EF, and this is my answer. All right, number 5. It says the midpoint of, or T is the midpoint of SU. So midpoint means it's in the middle. It cuts it in half. Here's T, S, and U. ST, that's from here to here, the first half is x plus 11. And then TU is 12x minus 1. It wants me to find the value of TU. So this guy here is my unknown. So I know that because T is the middle, that makes these two sides equal. So I'm going to come to show my work. This is question number 5. 8x plus 11 equals 12x minus 1. Now I'm going to start solving for x, where I subtract 8x from both sides. Then I have 11 equals 12x minus 8x is 4x minus 1, then add 1 to both sides. 12 equals 4x divided by 4 divided by 4, x is 3. Now they want me to find TU, not x. So TU is 12x minus 1. X equals 4 or 3. So TU equals 12x minus 1, which is 12 times 3 minus 1. Because I'm plugging in the value for x. I am evaluating because I already have the value, so now I've got to solve. 12 times 3 is 36, minus 1 is 35. This is my answer. Number 6 says, if G is the midpoint of FH, draw a segment. Cut it in half. FG is 11x minus 7, and GH is 3x plus 9. Because this is the middle, the left side equals the right side, and then I need to find FG, which is this side. Bam, bam. So now I'm going to write my equation, find x, and then I want to plug it in for FG, which would be 11x minus 7. Let's go and find x. 11x minus 7 equals 3x plus 9. I can also plug in my x into 3x plus 9 because this side is the same as this side, so it really matters not. All right, we want to subtract 3x from both sides. Make this go away. This is 8x minus 7 equals 9. And then I want to add 7 to both sides. 8x equals 16. And this says 8 times a number is 16. That number is 2. So now that I have x, oops, I put x there instead of 2. Whoopsies, x is always x. But in this case, it's 2. It's not always going to be 2. It is for now. 11 times 2 minus 7 is 22 minus 7, which is 15, is my final answer for that. Final answer, I don't remember what this was. Number 3 was written down on my separate paper. All right, number 7. It says R is the midpoint. R is in the middle of QS. 5x minus 3 is QR. And RS is 21 minus X. Because this is the middle, these are the same. I need to find QS. Oh, that's the whole thing. Whole thing. I'll tell you what to do there in a second. So, I've got 5x minus 3 equals 21 minus x. Add x to both sides. Then 6x minus 3 equals 21. Add 3 to both sides. 6x equals 24. Divide by 6, divide by 6, x equals 4. Then I need the whole thing. So that's either 2 of these or 2 of these. I'm going to say QS equals 2 times 21 minus x, because that's just easier to do, 21 minus 4. So 2 times 21 minus 4, because x is 4. And then 21 minus 4 is 17. 2 times 17 is 34. There's your answer. All right, number 8. It says, if B is the midpoint of AC, and AC equals 8x minus 20, this whole thing is 8x minus 20. This is the midpoint, which means these two pieces are equivalent, which means this is also 3x minus 1. I'm going to say that this equals 2 times 3x minus 1, and then solve for x, and then find segment BC. So this is my equation because this is my whole thing. These are my 2 equal parts. This part and this part are the same. Number 8. 8x minus 20 equals 2 times 3x minus 1. So I'm going to show you what I have. First of all, distribute. 2 times 3x is 6x, and 2 times 1 is minus 2. 8x minus 20. Add 2, add 2. This is negative 18. 8x minus 18 equals 6x minus 8x minus 8x. 6 minus 8 is negative 2x. Equals negative 18, divide by negative 2, divide by negative 2. These cancel out. It is positive 9 for my x. But I need to find the length of BC. Equals 3x minus 1. So I'm going to take this x and plug it in here. BC equals 3 times 9 minus 1, which is 27, minus 1, which is 26, and my final answer. Okay, the last question will be on the next video.